How are y'all doing tonight? Yeah? Anybody here from out of town? That might seem like a strange opening for a sermon, but what you don't yet know is that as part of my continuing education this spring, I've been taking stand-up comedy lessons. And you might also think that there's not a lot of overlap between the art of stand-up comedy and the craft of preaching, but there actually is quite a bit. For example, one of the things I've been learning this spring is that comedy comes from the sudden reversal of expectations. And if that's not a definition of the gospel, then I really don't know what is. So we look at this passage today and we see our friend, St. Peter. Now, I am not saying that Peter would have been a good stand-up comedian. Because I don't think of him as being quick-witted. Right? He's not the disciple you would call for help with the Wordle. He might be the disciple you think of if you had a really good prank in mind, because he would be very confused when that happened. But you'd have to be real sure that he didn't find out it was you, or you're going to end up stuffed in your locker for sure. Because his name isn't even really Peter. His name is actually Simon, and Jesus has nicknamed him Peter, the Rock. Now, Peter probably thinks that that's because he's such a solid friend and his steadfast personality, but I think it's because he's kind of a blockhead. And maybe Jesus did too. So here we are. Peter and all his friends have gone up to Jerusalem to the festival of Pentecost. And while there, the most amazing thing has happened. The tongues of flame have come down from heaven and landed on all of them. And miraculously, they have gone and begun preaching the gospel of Christ in every human language. And then some Parthian heckler in the back shouts, "You're drunk!" And Peter, again, not a very good stand-up comedian, doesn't come back with a good comeback. He doesn't say something like, "Yeah, maybe I am drunk, but you're ugly, and tomorrow I'll be sober." No, instead he comes back with a really detailed exegesis of the prophet Joel.
Go, Peter.
But this is the important lesson right here. You write your sermon however you do. Sometimes you show up with a tight 5 on the prophet Joel and it kills. 3,000 people respond to your altar call. And they're all baptized in a single day. And sometimes you work on your sermon all week and it just bombs. And you stand in front eating it. But that's not your job to care, which it is. Your job is the same as any other stand-up comedian. Be brave, hit your mark, and tell the truth. And if you can do those things, then you're doing it right. Some days it'll kill, some days it'll bomb. But here's the most important lesson from Peter and from stand-up comedy. If that blockhead can do it, so can you. That's my time. I'm Micah Jackson. God be with you all.